Check, check, check. 1 2 1 2. Check. Testing, testing. Check, check. Check, check, check. Mic checks. You don't have it still. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Check, 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 check. Huh? Is it? You want to just flip it up there? I don't think anybody has pictures. We're good. Check, check, check. Check, check, check. Check, check, check. 1 2.
Well, good morning, everyone. Can you hear me okay? All right. We are delighted to have so many of you here today. Doug Whitlock, my predecessor, said, I bet a lot of you are here because you have class attendance requirements. Is that true? Anybody here for a class? Very good. They're all right. This is not an ordinary occurrence, and Katie Scott and I are delighted to welcome you all here. She mentioned to me that chances are we can assume that if a building was built during the tenure of President Martin, there's going to be a time capsule behind every cornerstone. So this is the first of such ceremonies, but we hope it's not the last, because as we go through and revitalize our campus, we'll have a chance to do this, we hope, time and again. You can't hear me very well? Is the mic on? Okay, I'm sorry, it's just for the stream, so I'll try and project. We just want to have a few folks make a few brief comments. As you can imagine, a lot of people have tried to guess what's inside of the box. Everything from our proposed 4.5% cut to copies of the Eastern Progress to Charles Hay wants to find a rare coin. So we'll see what's inside of there. And we're very excited again to welcome you all here. I'd like to have Katie Scott say a word or two on behalf of the students. She will be followed by Paul Gannot, who is our Director of Capital Projects. And if you'll remember, back in August, we had a ceremony at the new Science Building, a topping off ceremony to commemorate the construction of that building. And today is every bit as important as we take out this capsule from a building that was built 3 years before I was born. And we're excited again to welcome you all here. And then I'd like to have my friend and colleague and predecessor, Doug Whitlock, say a word or two about Bob Martin, and then we'll break open the box. After, we hope you'll come up and take a look at whatever we find, provided it's not snakes or tarantulas. You can, if it's a newspaper, please be careful with it, or a yearbook. But you're free to spend some time here, get some refreshments, and see what's inside. So it's my pleasure to introduce our SGA President, Katie Scott.
Hi, thank you all for coming today. It's really exciting to see so many students here. And while I personally didn't live in Martin, a lot of my absolute best friends that I've made throughout the past 4 years have. And so it's really exciting to hear their stories and their memories of Martin, as well as the many alumni that are here. I know that we've had people come in the office since it was announced yesterday that a time capsule was found, and they've been like, what's in it? Are you sure we can't get a little early peek? So it's really exciting to be here on behalf of the students to help President Benson open this time capsule and finally find out what's inside of it. It has been checked for asbestos, so we don't have anything to worry about today. I made sure I asked that before it was set on the table. So next, I'd just like to introduce Paul Gannot to say a few words.
Well, thank you all for coming. As the President said, this really marks an exciting time in what's going on campus, and finding this in the construction project to build new buildings is really exciting. I want to talk a little bit about the historical perspective of 1961, just to get a framework of what was going on in the country at that time. Maybe helps us understand what they wanted to put in the time capsule. President Kennedy was in office, and he was warning us to build bomb shelters because the Cold War was going on. We sent the first people as advisors to Vietnam in 1961. Our current president, Barack Obama, was born in 1961. So, 1961 had a lot of things going on. Interestingly, some things that are still going on. You may be worried about relationships with other countries, maybe Russia's one of those, and things of that. So it'll be interesting to see what the people were thinking at that time and what they thought would be important for us to know about them, know about their personal thoughts of the time, and just what they wanted to succeed past their time here on campus. So really exciting to see what they wanted us to take away from today. So, and Dr. Whitlock.
Those of you who know me know how difficult it is for me to say a few words. I will say we have a lot of these short podiums on campus that were built when Joanne Glasser was president. Joanne was about 5 feet in her heels. And I used to jokingly say that when we got all the budget cuts behind us, we would buy some new podiums. Lots of luck. Number 13. Bob Martin became president of Eastern Kentucky State College July 1, 1960. And he was my high school graduation speaker the next year in 1961. And then my personal relationship with him began when I was a freshman here in 1961. I worked my way through college working in the public information office, so that gave me an opportunity to have a lot of contact with him. I was kidding his niece Sandy a minute ago that I'm not sure what's in this box, but I am absolutely certain that everything in it Bob Martin decided to put in it, including what I expect will be a list of everything that's in the box. A lot of people think of Bob Martin as a builder, and he was, He built a lot of what you see on campus today during his 16 years as president. But he was more than just a builder of buildings. He built this institution. He took it from a state college to a modern comprehensive university. He was one of my great mentors. I just want to share two things with you that have stuck with me throughout my life. His humor and his advice was sometimes kind of homesy and folksy. And one of the things he taught me was never build a fence that's not needed, and never tear down one until you know why it was built. There's wisdom. There's wisdom in that. And he had 5 rules of politics, and they're pretty Machiavellian. And I'll share 4 with you because the 5th one is, to put it mildly, somewhat politically incorrect. But Dr. Martin's 5 rules of politics, and most everybody's heard this one, is never stab a king unless you kill him. Never kill someone who's committing suicide. Never waste your time fighting a battle that's already lost, unless that's a battle of such principle you cannot be seen to acquiesce. And never waste your time fighting a battle that's already won, because there are bad winners just like there are bad losers. And I look forward to seeing what's in this box. If you came here expecting some kind of moment like in Raiders of the Lost Ark, I think you may be disappointed, but it's going to be exciting.
Two quick announcements. First, I'd be remiss if I didn't thank a few folks. First, those who have participated thus far. I also want to thank the contractors that were really careful when we told them that we had found a box over at Combs Hall, but it had been kind of irreparably damaged. They were very careful the last few days in extracting this box, and we're grateful for that. You probably watched Martin Hall come down in a hurry. And I'm happy to report today we have approval from our Board of Regents that the new hall that will be on the site of the existing Martin Hall will be named Martin Hall. As Doug said, President Martin did so much to build up this campus, and not a day that goes by that I don't think about him and the shadow that he cast over our campus and our community and our state. So we're honored that we'll continue that name with Martin Hall facing around on Lancaster. And as you know, you've seen from the gate that's being constructed, some of the other things that we have planned for Lancaster, this really is the showpiece into campus. And this new hall that will be constructed in the place of Martin Hall is going to be just that. And you'll see renderings here shortly as we finalize the contract, but I think you all take great pride in the fact that we're replacing a great hall that had wonderful memories with a facility that is modern and appropriate for our campus, and it fits into the architecture of our campus. So with that, as Doug said, don't expect anything great, but we're certainly excited to find out what's in this box. So I'm going to invite Katie to come forward, and we'll get started. Here, we'll put it over here. We have these handy-dandy crowbars.
How do you want to start?
Let's get from the front here. Yeah. How is this the front? Do this. All right. Take that on the table. Katie's going to announce what we found so far.
We have several copies of the Eastern Progress, dated April 19th, 1960. Several copies of the Progress. We also have a Richmond Register that has the article where President Martin took the oath as the Eastern's president. We have the Eastern Progress inaugural issue for President Martin. We have a magazine for Eastern Kentucky State College.
There's some more.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the inaugural address right there.
Yeah. We have the inaugural program from President Martin's inauguration.
There's some more. Oh, look at that. That's the press coverage of the actual day. State appropriation of what? $3.5 million to help build this building. I think that would buy some of the furniture today. But another, what is the date on that?
March 3rd, 1961. We have a couple of alumnus issues for the Eastern State College. Yeah, and this is Lyndon B. Johnson speaking at the inaugural step for the Alumni Coliseum. We have a Courier Journal article from Louisville about President Martin.
And this is Friday, May 25th, 1962. Eastern to award 486 degrees on Thursday. So we're up to, on average, 2,000 degrees that we award annually. That gives you a sense of how far we've come. There's some books you want to know and all.
We have the 5 decades of progress at the Eastern Kentucky State College from 1906 to 1957. It looks like an admissions brochure dated 1962 for the university.
Oh, these are awesome.
And then we have the Governor's Second Annual Conference on Education dated 1957, as well as it looks like a course catalog that is much smaller than the one we have to look at today.
These are great. These are photographs. I invite you to come forward. There's Mrs. Martin in the parlor at the Blanton House. There's Dr. Martin reading, of course, a copy of the Eastern Progress. And more pictures, family pictures of the Martins.
Construction.
The construction right there.
The construction of the original Martin Hall.
And an aerial shot. And then some more photographs. One thing I failed to mention, we're going to take all this, the archives, I'm sure archives would like some of it, but we're going to put another time capsule in the new Martin Hall and include some of these items as well. So 50 years from now, when my son hopefully helps, is here to witness it, some of these materials will be in that new time capsule as well. You're welcome to come forward and see it, enjoy some refreshments. Thanks to Airmark. Thanks to all of our campus folks that helped stream today. And go Colonels. Thank you very much. Good job, Kenny. Cool. Really awesome. Sure, absolutely. Yeah. How are you?
Okay.
Okay.
Hi. I'm trying to set it that way people don't touch it, maybe.
Well, they were, but this would have been copper. Yeah, this would have been crafted on.